Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans.
John F. Kennedy was not the first president to appear on television, but he was America's first television president.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The televised image of this youthful, articulate leader seemed to reflect the nation's yearning for a fresher, brighter day. On November 22nd, 1963, it came to a sudden end. President Kennedy arrived in Dallas that morning for a political goodwill visit. Citizens lined the streets, waving as the presidential motorcade moved slowly through the city. At about 12:30, as the open convertible carrying the presidential party passed through Dealey Plaza, 3 sharp cracks punctuated the afternoon air.
When that news broke, I immediately called Frank Stanton, who was president of CBS. He was in a very important meeting. And his secretary said, I'm sorry he's not to be disturbed. I said, you better disturb him. She said, well, I'm not allowed to disturb him. I said, the president's just been shot. She said, well, he'll call you back. I said, he better call me back immediately because he may not be alive by the time he calls me back. Stanton called back and he said, get on the air and hold the air and don't put anything else on until we find out whether he's dead or alive.
As details trickled in, I began reporting that day's shocking events.
Throughout the streets of Dallas, the Dallas police had been augmented by some 400 policemen called in on their day off because there were some fears and concerns in Dallas.
It was just the beginning of what would become 4 days of uninterrupted and unprecedented news coverage.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
I thought he was going to lose it, but he didn't. I figured, where's Severide? I got to get somebody in there right away. Because I didn't know whether Waller was going to recover from it, but pro that he is, he did. But I think that moment, all of America shared that. They all felt what he felt. They felt the same despair, the same, my God, what do we do now? And I think there was probably a tear in 100 million eyes as there was in Waller's.
Within minutes of Kennedy's death, Lyndon Baines Johnson took the oath of office aboard Air Force One. Arriving in Washington that evening, he made his first address as president.
I know that the world shares the sorrow that Mrs. Kennedy and her family bear. I will do my best. That is all I can do. I ask for your help and God's.
2 days later came the spectacle of another shocking murder, this time live on television. Lee Harvey Oswald, the man accused of shooting the president, was being transferred from a holding cell in the basement of the city jail. Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby approached Oswald and shot him at point-blank range.
Oswald has been shot.
Lee Oswald.
Oswald has been shot. The situation is now, Oswald has been shot. The man who saw the shot fired said it was fired by a man wearing a black hat, a brown coat, a man that everyone down here thought was a Secret Service agent.
Sometimes television is a theater. Sometimes it's a newsroom. Sometimes it's a chapel. All of America came to their television sets, and in effect, not actually, but in effect, all of America held hands. That is the best use of television.
Kennedy's coffin lay in state at the nation's capital that day as thousands of mourners gathered to pay their final respects. The next day, television followed the funeral procession to Arlington National Cemetery, where John F. Kennedy, age 47, was laid to rest.